McKenzie, Policy and Advocacy Chair, Federation of Small Businesses, joins me. Tina, great to have you on the show. First of all, how pleased are you? Are you pleased that the Liz Truss is going to be the next Prime Minister, and what does that mean for businesses up and down the country?
Well, congratulations to Liz Truss. I was pleased that within her campaign, she put small businesses, the self-employed and enterprise at the centre of the campaign. And that was good to hear. But I think now we know the scale of the challenge, that it's time, instead of big, bold words, it's time for some bold moves and some actions from her and government. And we're really waiting with bated breath to hope that she delivers for business across the country.
Just explain, Tina, just for our viewers right around the world, what you are hearing from businesses around the country. What kind of challenges, how worried are they about, of course, not just the price squeeze and what we have coming in the next few months, as it gets colder?
Well, the thing about this energy crisis is that we have a cap in the UK, well, for most of the UK, not for all of the UK, excludes Northern Ireland, but we have this cap that protects consumers. And what we don't have for the micro and small businesses is any sort of protection. We know that larger businesses can hedge, can negotiate, they've much more negotiating power. But for the small businesses around the UK, they're getting bills that are predicting 400 and 500% increases, and they just can't afford it. And there has been no help so far for those small businesses. And every day, we're hearing about small businesses closing around the UK. We had 5.9 million, 400,000 of those closed in 2020. And we're hearing that this is even worse than 2020 and COVID. So we need the Prime Minister to act quickly, and we need her to act on a group of measures, not just one around energy, but also an other series of measures, so that we protect the businesses that we protected through COVID. You know, we help them stay afloat. We don't want them to go under now.
Yeah, I was speaking to one MP earlier today, Conservative MP, who said, you know, when I asked him, what are your constituents telling in terms of cost of living crisis, he said it's also businesses, small businesses, who are very worried about what that means, that they might have to actually shut shop. So in terms of bold action, you're talking about what we hear from Liz Truss, what exactly do you want to see? What do businesses, Tina, what do they want to see?
Well, for the smallest micro businesses, we're asking that the government put in place a fund that can be delivered through local authorities, like small cash grants, to keep them going in the short term. But generally, we'd like to see some sort of help with energy across the piece, look at something like an energy cap, or some sort of deal with the energy companies that protect the small businesses through this period. And that may be some other structure that the government agrees, but we can't allow these businesses to be slapped with 400 and 500% increases. They simply cannot pay it. Now, what that means for the rest of our society is that if these businesses go under, they account for more than 60% of jobs in the UK. We can't afford, in this situation, in this type of economy, for UK companies to go under and for unemployment to start to spiral. That would be even worse than what we're facing right now. And I think Liz Truss and her colleagues do understand that. And therefore, we're looking forward to the measures that they're going to put in place, but they need to put them in place quickly in order that we protect everyone.
But this is the thing, it needs to be impactful, it needs to happen very soon. So how soon do you think then this needs to be announced in order to start having effect, with prices surging so much, more than some 20% as we head into October?
Well, if there was anything good out of COVID, what we saw was a government can react and can impact things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So therefore, we know that the government has the ability to use the rates, the business rate scheme, in order to go out right away and help businesses. So, for example, they could increase the threshold of business rates to 25,000. That would take 200,000 small businesses out of rates completely, immediately, across the UK. That could be done within a matter of weeks. A deal with the energy companies, again, could be done within a matter of weeks to cap and protect small businesses from these bills that they just are not going to be able to pay. It's just not possible.
I have a feeling, Tina, that you and I will be talking much more often in the next 2 weeks. Tina McKenzie, live for us from in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. Thanks, Tina.